From destroying hotel rooms to breakdowns on stage, there's seemingly no limit to how far musicians can sink. Some keep their careers while others do not. Today we're looking at country musicians who were blacklisted. Whether it's the Grand Ole Opry, fans across the country, or the entire industry, these musicians screwed up big time and paid the price. Remember, this video is country music, so George Jones racking up DUIs like parking tickets. But even he was forgiven because drinking too much is kinda in the job description. So, who quit music after dissing John Denver? Who was snubbed by the entire industry? And who claimed to be blacklisted but faked it? We're gonna find out. But first, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel for more country content like this. But now, turn the volume up and get comfortable, because we're gonna find out. What happened? Charlie Rich. With some really great songs, like The Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
I let my world slip away from me, so hey.
And Behind Closed Doors.
And when they turn out the lights, she's still a baby to me.
Charlie Rich put his own kind of jazzy spin on the Nashville sound. But after years of waiting for the industry to come around to his style, he nearly burned it all down, literally. Jump back to 1975, a terrific year for Charlie Rich. He had cleaned up at the previous year's awards, and he was expecting a repeat. He was a natural choice to present the award for Entertainer of the Year. But then Charlie showed up, absolutely drunk, and, well, just watch for yourself. Yeah, so why the heck did he do such a thing? At the time, people guessed that Charlie had an issue with John Denver winning. While songs like Country Roads have made John an icon today, there were people at the time who said he wasn't country enough. So yeah, the obvious reason is that Charlie was protesting John's victory, while John was tuning in from Australia via satellite. Now years later, Charlie's son tells a very different story. First, Charlie thought it was gonna be funny. And yeah, it's kinda hard to argue with that. And the second thing, Charlie was on a new pain medication at that time. Take that new medication, add a few gin and tonics, and yeah, it hit like a week-long bender. But no matter why he did it, he sure suffered the consequences. A lot of people, a lot of fans of both John and Charlie were outraged, and Charlie's popularity took quite the hit. He recovered a bit in 1977 with Rollin' with the Flow.
Our guys my age are raising kids.
But it wasn't enough to save his career. And in 1981, Charlie Rich basically retired from country music, recording only one more album in his lifetime. Little Big Town. As far as country hits go, Little Big Town's 2014 hit, Girl Crush, was a little, let's say, different from your average country song.
Just as much, I got a girl crush.
It was a hit on the charts, but not everybody liked it. Some radio stations got so much hate that they pulled the song from the airwaves. Well, that's the story that was told. But was Little Big Town really canceled? Or was the entire thing a hoax? At first listen, it's easy to understand why Girl Crush might be controversial, but the band claimed that wasn't what the song was about at all. In fact, it was about a girl obsessing over another girl because that girl stole her lover. So yeah, it wasn't really a modern departure from country music's traditional values. It was along the same lines as songs about fierce jealousy, you know, like Dolly Parton's Jolene. But apparently, a lot of people didn't listen too closely. According to several news outlets, radio stations were flooded with angry calls from listeners. So many that they did pull the song from airwaves. Karen Fairchild, one of the band's singers, said, quote, "That's just shocking to me, the close-mindedness of that, when that's just not what the song was about. But hold on just a second, just one more thing. It was true that at least one radio station in Idaho pulled the song from the airwaves. But what about all the others? Well, the music publication Billboard reached out to radio stations across the country, and they could find absolutely no record of any other stations refusing to play that song. And even if they did, it didn't slow the song down all that much, because Girl Crush hit #1 on the Country Music Top 100.
I'll play you something we wrote.
Liz said, "Oh, you'll never cut this, but we have to play you the song that we just wrote."
It wouldn't be the first time the media engineered a controversy for clicks, and it certainly won't be the last. Hank Williams. Plenty of these so-called lifetime bans from the Opry aren't all that serious. It's a good thing they're not in charge of all the prisons. But there is one man the Opry never forgave. And he just happens to be the most revered country singer of all time. So what did Hank do that was so unforgivable? Well, from the start, Hank and the Opry didn't mix so well. The Opry has always had a strict standard for performance quantity and quality. Let's just say the only place Hank was ever on time to was the liquor store. So while he was making a name for himself with incredible records like Hey Good Lookin',
I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill.
I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry,
To live, I'm so lonesome I could cry.
he was also making a name for himself as a notorious drinker. In 1952, he pushed his luck a bit too much, and he missed a performance completely. So yeah, he was banned from the infamous show. Apparently, the Opry was just trying to temporarily ban him to teach him a lesson. You know, no hard feelings. But sadly, the kiss and make up would never occur. Because on January 1st, 1953, Hank Williams passed away in his Cadillac at the age of 29. Country music lost its brightest star at the time. Nowadays, Hank's fans are pushing for him to be reinstated. I mean, what kind of honor is it if Hank Williams isn't included? But the Opry has a very simple reply. The Grand Ole Opry is made of living, breathing artists who can contribute to the show. So until my plan to bring Hank Williams back from the dead to save country music finally works, I'm really close by the way, we'll have to settle, with Hank Williams being a treasured former member of the world's greatest show. The Dixie Chicks. The entire world was a very different place when the Dixie Chicks were doing their thing. In 2003, singer Natalie Maines attacked the war and the president during a concert. And what followed was one of the quickest blacklistings of all time. National radio stations refused to play their songs. Fans burned their albums. In Louisiana, people rented a tractor to destroy thousands of the Dixie Chicks albums. Even their tour bus driver said sayonara to the girls. Now the band did give a soft apology, saying that they did support the troops, but not the war. Natalie called herself a proud American, but did country music really accept their apology? The late Toby Keith put up posters of Natalie next to Saddam Hussein during his shows, saying that she was just as bad as him. Even President Bush told them to stop whining, but the band was pretty resilient and did not quit. They put out an album in 2006 that was a little poppier, and it did have some success on the pop charts, but not on the country charts. In 2016, they officially changed their name to The Chicks, and in 2020, they released their first album in 14 years. But country music as a whole has never forgiven them. Some people forgive but don't forget, and I guess country music really does neither. Morgan Wallen. Now Morgan Wallen was one of the most up-and-coming country artists of our time, with some great songs like Up Down and Whiskey Glasses. He became the soundtrack to our party, the after party, and the hangover. So why then was country music's shiniest star completely blacklisted? Well, some footage leaked of Morgan saying a racial slur. And yeah, the floodgates opened. Morgan apologized, saying, quote, "He was around some of his friends, and they say dumb stuff together." Well, yeah, that didn't do much good. He was banned from just about every major radio platform. The Academy of Country Music banned him from their 2021 awards, the award show where Morgan was expected to absolutely clean up. Even Morgan Wallen's own record label suspended him. Yeah, I know, I didn't even know record labels could suspend people. I guess it's kinda like ISS. So yeah, it seemed like another Dixie Chicks situation. One mistake ending a career. But not so fast. Morgan's music actually got more popular as a result of the controversy. His album sales doubled, and soon his 2021 album was breaking records. It seemed like controversy was good for Morgan's career. But now we'll have to see how far his luck takes him. Because on April 8th, 2024, Morgan Wallen was arrested and booked after he threw a chair off the roof of a Nashville bar. Well, that sounds pretty obnoxious, but maybe not a huge deal. I mean, how high was that roof? 6 stories. Okay, yikes, not great, pretty big deal. But knowing his luck, it'll probably help his career even more.
I don't know how to put myself in their shoes because I'm not, you know. I do understand it, especially when I say that I'm using it playfully or whatever, ignorantly. I understand that must sound, you know, like he doesn't understand.
He'd probably get an even bigger boost if the bar was 10 stories tall. Alright, so which country troublemaker is your personal favorite? Do you think Hank Williams should have an honorary inclusion to the Grand Ole Opry? And what about Morgan Wallen? Are you a fan? Sure, he has a whole boatload of talent, but he also just might be a tool. Did I forget a country musician who was completely blacklisted? Well, get in the comments and tell me who. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up icon to show your support. Subscribe to our channel and come back often so we can keep telling you